Right now, somewhere in Taiwan, a machine the size of a school bus is firing droplets of molten tin 50,000 times per second. It is etching circuits onto silicon at a scale measured in atoms, lines so small that 10,000 of them fit across a single human hair. Without that machine, your phone dies, your car stops, the F 35's radar goes blind, the global economy loses over $1 trillion within days. The chip inside your phone is not just a component, it is the most manufactured object in human history and the most concentrated. A single company in Taiwan, TSMC, makes over 90% of the world's most advanced semiconductors. Not 90% of all chips, 90% of the ones that matter. The processors that run artificial intelligence data centers, military systems, and every smartphone on Earth. Now, for the part most explainers get wrong. They frame this as a simple trade dispute between the United States and China. But the real bottleneck runs far deeper. It sits one layer beneath TSMC. TSMC does not build its own machines. It buys them from a single company in the Netherlands, ASML. ASML holds a 100% monopoly on extreme ultraviolet lithography, EUV. These are the only machines on Earth capable of printing the world's most advanced chips. Three things about EUV that make the monopoly unbreakable. First, the science. EUV light does not exist naturally on Earth. It must be generated by pulverizing molten tin droplets with lasers at 50,000 impacts per second. The light is then reflected through a series of mirrors so precise that if one were scaled to the size of Germany, its surface irregularity would measure less than 1 millimeter. Second, the cost. A single EUV machine sells for over $300 million. It weighs 180 tons. Shipping one requires 3 Boeing 747 cargo planes. Third, the time. Each machine takes more than a year to build. A SML ships approximately 50 per year, and every single one is already spoken for. This is the real bottleneck. The factory that makes the world's chips depends on a company in the Netherlands that makes the only machines that can build them. And now, layer in the geography. Taiwan sits 130 kilometers from mainland China. Beijing has stated repeatedly and explicitly that reunification with Taiwan is non-negotiable. The Chinese military has conducted invasion rehearsals involving hundreds of ships and aircraft. China knows exactly how a conflict would unfold, and it would not require landing troops on a beach. A blockade of the Taiwan Strait alone would sever the global semiconductor supply. No ships in, no chips out. The global economy does not need a war. It only needs the credible threat of one. If Taiwan fell tomorrow, could the world simply build chip factories somewhere else? The answer reveals 3 barriers that reinforce each other. First, cost. TSMC is spending $165 billion to build facilities in Arizona. A single advanced fabrication plant costs between $20 and $30 billion. It takes 5 years to complete. By the time it opens, the technology has already moved forward. Second, talent. The people who know how to run these machines, the process engineers, the yield specialists, the technicians who keep EUV systems calibrated, are overwhelmingly Taiwanese. You cannot hire them away. You cannot train replacements in months. Third, the ecosystem. A chip factory is not a standalone building. It requires specialty chemicals, ultra-pure water, precision gases, and photomasks. An entire industrial web that exists almost nowhere else at the required scale. But here is the counter-argument, and it is strong. The United States is spending enormous sums to reshore chip production. Japan is building new fabs. Germany is courting TSMC to Dresden. The market, the argument goes, will diversify supply naturally. It is already happening, and yet the numbers do not support the comfort. Even after the CHIPS Act, even after $165 billion in Arizona, TSMC's most advanced process nodes will remain in Taiwan for at least another decade. The Arizona fabs produce chips 1 or 2 generations behind what Taiwan makes today. The gap does not close, it only keeps moving. The dollar is declining at the edges, the chip supply chain is not. The dollar's dominance took 8 decades to build. Its erosion is measurable in percentage points per year. Chip concentration is fundamentally different. It is a binary vulnerability. Either the world has access to advanced semiconductors or it does not. There is no 70% of the internet, no 60% of a functioning military. The moment the flow stops, the system breaks. Not slowly, not at the margins, completely. TSMC's monopoly was not designed by any government. It emerged from decades of specialization, market forces, and a handful of engineering decisions made in the 1980s and 1990s. But it has created a world where a single factory on a single island in one of the most contested waters on Earth has become the choke point for modern civilization. The question is not whether China wants Taiwan. The question is whether the rest of the world builds an alternative before that ambition becomes reality.